Are cars more expensive now because of the tariffs than they were a week ago? That's the question I've been asking myself. Now, I understand in the long term, prices of vehicles will go up because of the tariffs, but I'm talking about now. Since the tariffs have been announced, I have been wondering, and I've heard a lot of anecdotal evidence of people saying cars have raised by $5,000, but I haven't seen that. So I decided to look at the data, look at the evidence to show you, and I'm telling you the results are shocking. Now, just so you can understand the information, there's going to be two data points we're going to be looking at. First off, the number of vehicles that have been sold from 325 to 47. We're going to see if that number's gone up or down. The second thing we're going to do is look at the average list price. Now, we're going to start off with Ford, which is fascinating because they've lost 3.1% of their stock, which means they're selling some of their cars, but the average price of the Ford has gone up 1.2%. This is so interesting because people don't realize that Ford was going below employee pricing before this, but because every dealership is advertising it now, it made it a level playing field. A really fun thing is to watch it by brand by brand. Chevy is Ford's biggest competitor. They sold about the same amount of cars, but they raised their prices as well. Ford raising their prices caused Chevy to raise their prices. Toyota sold 4.5% of their stock, but only raised their point by 0.5%. So this is good. Toyota's made the word that they're not raising prices, and we can see that. Hyundai is going to be impacted more than most, and we see that in that price increase. The average price is going up 1.2%. Now, this is across all models. If you guys want to see particular brands and break down by their models, I can do that too. But they did sell 2.9% of their stock. Nissan is such a fascinating one because they've lost 7% of their stock. So they're selling their units, not getting replenished, but they actually raised their price by 3.6%. This is interesting because they lowered the MSRPs. We're seeing that for the brands that lowered MSRPs, the average list price has gone up, which means dealerships are trying to make that profit back. Honda is interesting because the majority of their cars are actually made in North America, but they sold 7.4% of their stock. That is a huge margin. People are rushing to buy Hondas right now. And the average price listed actually went down due to the tariffs, not up. Another American brand upping their prices almost by 1%, even though they only sold 2% of their stock. And Kia's just kept their prices the same. They're basically the same as they were before, but yet they sold 4.4% of their stock. Again, we're seeing this market data. GMC raised their prices on average 1.3%, but only sold 1% of their stock, which means they're raising their prices just like Chevy and Ford. Ram never ceases to amaze me. They're the only brand that increases in inventory and increases the average price of their unit. What are you doing? You can see why Subaru is panicking a little bit. The number of vehicles have gone down by 11.5% and they've increased their pricing by 2%. Subaru has stopped sold orders, and this is exactly why. Mazda is one of those brands that a lot of people thought were going to be impacted, so people rushed to buy them. 8.4% less inventory, but yet their prices have increased 1.3%. Mazda's has become less competitive because of the tariffs. Mercedes-Benz have not raised their prices, but yet they're down in inventory by 4%. We compare that to BMW that's down 7% and have lowered their price by 1% on average. Volkswagen is also a huge concern. They're down by 9%, but yet their prices increased by 2.5%. If you guys want a part two, let me know.